Hello everyone, I'm Owen Mattingly,
I'm Christopher Kuzniak.
and we're doing WCAT Pod. Christopher is varsity baseball pitcher. Had your first region game yesterday. How'd it go?
The Cats ended with a win over Centennial, 12-3, boasted by 3 home runs, one by Jackson Hausner, one by Jack Schwartz, and one by William Whitcliffe.
Amazing to start the region with a win.
Yes, it's been great, especially in the tough region we are in this year. Owen, how has soccer been?
It's been great. We're 2-0 in our region. We have Cal region game tonight. Everyone be there, home. And Bob Sims this weekend, and it will be great, you know.
All right, so let's talk NFL free agency.
There's been a lot of NFL moves. What has been your favorite so far?
I mean, there's always the big signings. You know, Sam Darnold to the Seahawks. That's definitely a bigger one that really I wasn't expecting.
I don't like that one, honestly.
You really don't?
I think if Seattle drafts a quarterback like Jackson Dart, maybe,
Okay.
then that's a great move. But I don't think Sam Darnold's that good, you know.
I mean, he was putting up. I mean, was he not in MVP talks early in the season, mid-season?
He's getting $100 million. He had one good year and lost first round in the playoffs. I think
But
we'll see.
He still boasted 14 wins in the toughest division in football.
I had a good team, but we'll move on. We got Falcons, the Dirty Birds, releasing Grady Jarrett, freeing up some money. I've heard a lot of people pretty upset about that. What are your thoughts?
Definitely think he's definitely a monumental player for the program. Just the impact he's had has been insane. But
Yeah. Now the Falcons only have one player left on the 28-3 team.
who's that?
Jake Matthews.
Jake Matthews.
We have like cap space now. Still
Not really because of Kirk Cousins,
Yeah,
but I definitely think the Falcons should try and invest in some sort of rush. I mean, we did sign linebacker Divine Diablo yesterday, and we're definitely taking care of the defensive problem. Re-signed cornerback Mike Hughes. So we're looking at the mock drafts. We're seeing a lot of maybe we can get Michael Williams.
Yeah, great. And then another big move, Devontae Adams to the Rams.
I mean, there's been a lot of change in the wide receiver room, but yeah, that definitely is.
They haven't released Cooper Kupp yet. I'm kind of surprised about that.
I've seen they're projected to, definitely, but
Yeah.
I mean, Devontae Adams, he's kind of not had some great years. I don't think it's his fault. I think it's due to quarterback play as of recent. Trying to mean what? Who's he had recently? Derek Carr.
Yeah, Derek Carr.
Aaron Rodgers. Washed Aaron Rodgers. I don't know.
Aaron Rodgers. And then Gardner Minshew. I can't forget about Gardner Minshew.
So I think pairing him up with Matthew Stafford, and especially with the help of Puka Nacua, would definitely help. I feel like it's a big year coming for Devontae Adams.
Over under 1,000 yards.
I'm definitely going over there. I think the Rams are still a good team in the NFC. They'll definitely be a playoff team.
Yeah.
They'll definitely compete in their division. Could host a playoff game once again.
And then big trade, Laramie Tunsil to the Commanders.
Commanders have come out firing this free agency, trading for Deebo Samuel and Laramie Tunsil. But, you know, they're in win-now mode with the young quarterback, Jaden Daniels, on his rookie deal.
Yeah.
And, I mean, they went from, 3 wins to 12 and made it to the NFC Championship in the span of 1 year.
I mean, a good quarterback can do a lot. I think we might see a sophomore slump out of Jaden Daniels.
Really?
I mean, we saw it with C.J. Stroud.
We did see with C.J. Stroud, they improved the wide receiver room, they improved the defense. But C.J. Stroud, he wasn't as productive. But, I mean,
They also had a bad O-line. They had a
That's
really
true.
bad O-line. And then they just lost their best O-lineman, so.
That'll be rough. I mean, I feel like Daniels, though, his legs will open him up. Open up so many things in the pass game. So as long as he can stay healthy, I feel like, I don't know if he'll.
I mean, as an up-and-coming
I don't know if I have the legs Jaden Daniels has. But,
We'll see.
but, I mean, wide receivers, I mean, there's still some pretty notable free agents. Stephon Diggs, where will he go? I mean, after.
He's a free agent?
Is he not?
And he hasn't. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, he is.
He is?
And he hasn't re-signed.
I mean, do the Texans want to re-sign him? I mean, there's been locker room troubles in Buffalo.
Yeah, it's Diggs. Like,
He did end up getting injured. He was having a solid year. Pairing him, I mean, who knows what'll happen to Tank Dell too after that. I mean, 2 bad season-ending injuries. Like,
Yeah. I wouldn't say it's a great free agency for the Texans fans. If you're a Texans fan watching, then I feel for you.
They had a solid one last year, though. You can't always be great.
Yeah, it's fair. They did make the playoffs, unlike the Falcons. But, DeAndre Hopkins to the Ravens, what do you think about that?
I mean, I think we've seen that DeAndre Hopkins' time it's coming to an end. He's not been, even like he dropped a ball or two in the Super Bowl, I think. Yeah, I don't know if he's really.
Yeah, that Super Bowl was.
I don't think anything was going for the Chiefs there.
Joey Bosa?
To the Bills. He's definitely getting older, but 1 year.
29.
29, yeah, but 1 year, definitely. Well, they did lose Von Miller, so I guess that's their Von Miller replacement. And I just think, they're already contenders.
Yeah,
so
who do they have other than Josh Allen? Who's like big contract now that they?
I've not really looked much into the Bills, but wow, that's actually a really good question.
I might look it up later, but yeah, they have Joey Bosa and Josh Allen, and then wide receiver.
I think they definitely looked maybe for a wide receiver this free agency. They don't need one though. Josh Allen proved that this year.
Could you see them getting Stephon back?
I think they let him go for a reason.
Yeah.
I feel like they were better after they let him go. And they didn't really improve at wide receiver. Keon Coleman was not the player Stephon Diggs was.
Yeah. We'll see. I think mostly with their offense, they just it's kind of let Josh Allen cook.
He won MVP for a reason. I definitely think that MVP was a tight race between him and Lamar, but thinking about it, Lamar had the supporting cast, even though he put up an insane 41 touchdown to 4 interception ratio. That's really special.
Think Josh Allen deserved that MVP?
I think he didn't have the team that Lamar had in most valuable. I feel like he was the most valuable to his team.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of people mad about Lamar not winning. Lamar had better stats, but
last year Lamar had 29 touchdowns and he won it.
Who else was in that race though?
It was a weak MVP race last year. I think Dak Prescott was up there with 36. He had the most touchdowns in the NFL.
You think if the Bengals made this playoffs, Joe Burrow would have won?
He won the quarterback triple crown, correct? Most touchdowns, most yards. What else was it?
Have they done anything in free agency?
The Bengals.
I don't think they have.
Haven't they already gotten? Have they re-signed Jamar Chase, or is it not his year? I think he's next year.
Yeah, he's next year. I think he wants a contract though. Wasn't he holding out at the beginning of this year?
I believe so. Yeah. I believe he was definitely hoping. I remember he wants to get paid more than Justin Jefferson.
Yeah, I heard that.
But Justin Jefferson was the highest paid non-quarterback until
Max Crosby.
Max Crosby took barely.
Yeah.
And
Did they overpay for him? Do you think?
I think he's one of the best defense players in the league. Every year you see with the salary cap constantly increasing, you're getting players getting paid more and more.
Yeah.
So I think this is not something that's going to change with new guys getting paid the most. Like J.C. Horn for the Panthers is he the highest paid corner?
Really?
I think he's up there. I know he's up there getting
every year it's just new, someone new. And then Justin Fields to the Jets. Do you think the Jets will finally be good?
I think this may be Justin Fields' last chance.
Yeah, definitely. I think offensively he has weapons. They have a decent O-line, right?
I really did not. They were not a fun team to watch last year. I didn't really watch them. They really, really struggled offensively.
Yeah.
But reuniting him with his college teammate Garrett Wilson, we'll see how that connection goes.
Right.
Brees Hall, still a young guy. Braylon Allen showed some flashes last year.
Yeah.
Got some good running backs.
Yeah,
So I feel like
that defense
it's been good.
Where do you think Aaron Rodgers will end up?
Is there been rumors somewhere? It's
Vikings. I think it's Vikings and maybe Steelers.
If he goes to the Vikings, do you think it's more of just I did hear Steelers, but Vikings, do you think it's more of a plea to get for competition for J.J. McCarthy?
Yeah. You haven't seen anything from J.J. McCarthy. They're definitely in win-now mode. They have the pieces. They have the tools. And
Well, then back to letting Sam Darnold go, why would they let him go if they haven't seen anything? You think McCarthy's just been really, really good in practice?
I mean, I think mostly they didn't want to pay, like Sam Darnold, who wants $100 million after a 14-3 year when they have top 10 pick quarterback who they hope could be good. I mean, he did win a national championship.
Yes, we've also seen that. I mean, college doesn't really always transfer to the NFL. I mean, Stetson
Right.
Bennett won 2 in a row. Also was one of the best defenses of all time.
Stetson Bennett's like 28 years old now.
Yeah, and I don't even know what happened to
Who
him.
else? We have Russell Wilson's a free agent. You think he's getting a starting job?
He has not been great these past couple of years. I mean, with
Yeah.
the Steelers, he didn't really do much different.
They won a couple games and then
He wasn't really different from Kenny Pickett, honestly. I mean, they had the same result, make
Yeah.
the playoffs, lose in the first round, or get smoked, blown out in the first round.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
You think they might look at a Jackson Dart? Or mock draft said, did Shadur?
I've seen one with Shadur falling out of the first round.
That
I
would
definitely
be-
think that could be something for maybe. I feel like the Steelers definitely want to draft a quarterback.
Yeah.
I
I
mean,
can see
this-
them trading up too.
Compared to
Maybe.
last year, this is a weaker quarterback class, but I mean, it's hard to compare.
Yeah, this is-
Last year might have been one of the greatest of all time.
I mean, we'll see. And Jaden Daniels. Oh, Bears. Let's talk about the Bears. I've seen a lot about the Bears. The Bears have done a lot. They got Joe Thuney on the offensive line from the Chiefs, who's, I mean, great player. And then who else? They
Grady Jarrett, second from the Falcons.
also took our center, Drew Dolman, from us.
Dolman,
Yeah,
yeah,
they've
so
done a
definitely-
lot. I think they might get Keenan Allen back. We'll see.
Who's their quarterback again?
Caleb Williams?
Caleb Williams. Oh my.
Yeah, first overall.
So I
pick,
definitely
Caleb
think, yeah. I mean,
Williams.
he got sacked so many
A
times
lot,
last year. I
man.
think that's definitely tough on a quarterback. It is tough to sit there and know you're just gonna get hit. So I think definitely boosting up that O line will be beneficial for Caleb Williams' second year.
Yeah, right. And then, who else? Quarterbacks. Oh, Nick Chubb's a free agent. I didn't know that.
It's tough to know where he's gonna go.
Old.
I mean, he's getting older, especially for running backs.
Yeah.
And I mean, his knees are just. I mean, he's had some pretty horrific injuries. I mean, college, that one was disgusting to watch. I mean, 2 seasons ago against the Steelers, he kind of came back from it, but he wasn't the same really dominant player he was. So I'm kind of interested to see where he falls, especially as a Georgia player, fan of Georgia. So.
Right. What's your hot take of the year?
Hot take of the year.
2025
Oh my
NFL season.
gosh. I don't know if this is like a hot take or if I really just want it to happen. I think the Falcons will win a playoff game this year. I think they'll host and win one.
Host? You
I
think,
think
we'll
they'll
win the
host.
South?
I think we can win the South. I mean, we showed this year we beat the Bucks twice.
Right.
We had the division. Well, we fell. I mean, Kirk Cousins again was it like 1 touchdown to 8? How many interceptions was it?
It was
Maybe like a couple games in.
I think it was a 5-game span. He had 0 touchdowns and 8 interceptions and like 500 yards.
Yeah,
which
that
is
was. I mean, we were 6-3 on top of the division. Already beat the Bucks.
Yeah, we had the division in our hands then.
And then even when it was like if we win and the Bucks lose, we still ended up losing to the
Yeah.
Panthers. But
Which, I mean, kind of helped with our pick.
and that definitely shows that we need defense. I mean, Michael
Yeah.
Penix proved that he can work with this offense. I mean, him and Drake London already have a great connection. I mean, he put up like how many yards? Was it like he put up a lot of yards.
Drake
And
London had 1,200 yards and like
No.
9 touchdowns.
with Michael Penix, he had. I mean, against the Panthers, Week 18, he had a lot.
Yeah.
So yeah, he was actually. I think did he finish top 5 in yards?
He was top 3 in yards.
Top 3. Okay.
1,200 is, I mean, it was Jamar Chase, Triple Crown, which I honestly am kind of surprised. I would pick him over Saquon, which is my hot take of last
So you think
year.
Jamar Chase.
I think a
was
Triple
okay?
Crown is so rare. Hell, I guess 2,000 yards is hard, but Triple Crown, man.
I mean,
I think if they made the playoffs, he would.
I think it's tough that they started off the year cold, and that
Yeah.
just. I think the Wards would have been different, and I think the Bengals would have been a scary team in the playoffs. I think that's
Yeah.
the Chiefs benching their starters against the Broncos in what was it, Week 18?
Yeah.
I think that was more than just let's let them rest. I think that was also to keep the Bengals out of the playoffs. I think they'd rather have the Broncos in.
Yeah.
So I definitely think the Bengals will be a heavy contender in the AFC. That's another one of my takes. I think we could see AFC Championship out of them. And
Right.
Joe Burrow's proven to be one of the only quarterbacks that can beat Patrick Mahomes in the playoffs.
Yeah. What do you think about the Browns? I've been researching the Browns. Re-signed Myles Garrett. You think they'll
Re-sign
go
Myles
for
Garrett.
Cam Ward?
When's their pick? They're early.
They're second.
They're second.
Second.
Titans are first. Or,
Yeah.
I mean, or is Patriots first? Wait, who's first?
I think Titans are first. I think it's Titans, Browns, Patriots.
Well, I mean, Browns are the only one there without really a true quarterback. They did recently trade for Kenny Pickett, sending a 6th-rounder and Dorian Thompson-Robinson for Kenny Pickett. I don't think he's going to jump in and be the starter. I definitely think they're planning to draft a quarterback.
The Browns? They
Yes.
got Kenny Pickett?
Yes, they traded for Kenny Pickett. So I think,
Huh.
yeah, I definitely think this will
I
be.
need Deshaun, man.
I think our Kirk Cousins contract's making that look not as bad, but that still has to be one of the worst, maybe the worst trade.
It was 3 first-round picks,
His entire contract was guaranteed.
and an entire contract guaranteed. And now he's just sitting hurt, you know? Well,
So yeah, I definitely think the Browns go quarterback early.
yeah.
Because the Titans, I mean, Will Levis is, what do you think they go there with Will Levis?
I think you got to give up. I think you got to give
I
up
mean,
on
you
Will
knew
Levis.
he was a developmental prospect. That was the same talk about Anthony Richardson.
Right.
But I definitely think they haven't handled Anthony Richardson well at the Colts. I mean, he was a developmental prospect, but you bench him after, 10 games? It's like he has been really, really bad, but there's a reason you drafted him. You knew he wasn't going to be a great passer early on.
Yeah.
You knew he had the physical tools to be great.
Yeah.
I mean, combine warrior. He's an athlete.
I mean, I could see Anthony Richardson turning around. They did get Daniel Jones.
He's just been really, really inaccurate. So I think maybe you give him one more shot and see how he.
Yeah, I think the Colts need a good backup. Anthony Richardson definitely
Well,
is
they
a
had a
project.
Flacco who, I mean,
played.
two seasons ago he took the Browns to the playoffs.
Old Flacco. I mean, who else is a free agent? Jameis Winston.
You gotta love him.
The guy. Then Amari Cooper's a free agent.
I mean, you think he sticks with the Bills? I mean,
He didn't do much other than that, one play back to Josh Allen. That's
the lateral back.
the lateral. I mean,
Oh wow, Tyler Lockett, free agent.
yeah,
I
they
did not know
released
that.
Tyler Lockett.
Oh, they released him.
They released
So they're
him.
clearing ship in that wide receiver room.
Oh yeah, DK. We
D-
didn't talk about DK.
DK is a Steeler. Pairing him with George Pickens, I think that's a good room to give a quarterback. I definitely think that's a place to land for quarterbacks.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that's going to be interesting. Both of them are, personalities.
I think that might be they might have the most personal fouls.
Yeah, both of them might
Both
have
of them
the
combined.
most personal fouls.
But they are George Pickens just being the elite catch guy, just deep threat.
Yeah.
He is pairing him with a big guy like DK Metcalf. Like, that's a pretty good.
You give them a quarterback,
But they're gonna have a new running back. They released Najee Harris.
but they have Jalen Warren.
They do have Jalen Warren, who was pretty. He was pretty good 2 seasons ago. He kind of didn't have as great as a year this year, but I think
Evan Ingram, free agent. Jags released Evan Ingram.
they released. I feel like he's definitely a tight end. He's probably.
That's
he
a fantasy guy. That is.
He's pretty good fantasy tight end. So I definitely think. What does that mean for the Jaguars? They got Brian Thomas.
Yeah.
Christian Kirk still there.
Yeah, I think so. It might have. Yeah, Christian
So we'll
Kirk.
see. Trevor Lawrence just got paid. He got paid a lot. So he may need to prove it before. I don't know.
The Jags, new coach. If you're a Jags fan, I don't know. It's a lot of teams with bad futures, and I would, might include the Falcons in that. But
Hey, we got a young quarterback. Kirk Cousins is paid off. Is guaranteed this year.
we've paid is guaranteed.
Well, it was $90 million guaranteed. It was first 2 years, I believe. This is all guaranteed. And
Yeah.
the next 2 years weren't. And I think that's kind of smart to structure the contract that way.
I wonder if we trade him. I could see I've heard Browns talks for trade.
I mean, I feel like not next. I don't know if anyone really wants to pay $45 million for him.
I mean, Browns. No, they can pay for a quarterback. They've done it before, but
I don't know if they want to make that same mistake again.
yeah,
That was definitely. That was
bad. And then 49ers. 49ers have lost a lot.
I've seen some comparisons of them to the Thunder a couple years ago, back when they would go. I mean, they had their years. They had their time to win. They couldn't do it in the Super Bowl. Lost the conference championship, I believe. So I mean, it's time to clear ship, send out. I mean, Christian McCaffrey. I mean, Saquon's giving you a great
Do you trade CMC if you're the 49ers?
I mean, you're paying him. He's expensive, and Jordan Mason played well when he was hurt, and he was hurt all last year too.
Yeah.
I mean, they all said the injury bug last year. How many running backs did they have get hurt?
They had Jordan Mason, CMC, and then their third string was Isaac Guerrero. I know that from fantasy, and he also got hurt. So I mean,
yes, I definitely think it was a rough year, but with a coach like Kyle Shanahan, I definitely think he has the security that they can go into a multi-year rebuild, and he won't be fired. You know, he's proven that he is one of the best offensive minds in football. Even took the Falcons to the Super Bowl. Didn't know that was possible.
I mean, took us there. Didn't want us it. I mean,
I think that's at fault of the defense.
yeah.
So I was a little confused with Dan Quinn and the Commanders.
They've lost Ufanga, who is torn his ACL. Did you see that clip of him tearing his ACL 2 years ago? He got.
So I mean, is it time? I mean, Brock Purdy. How much do you think he's gonna get paid? Because I still feel like there's a narrative on him that he's a system quarterback.
I mean, I think he's not. I think he's proven that he can run an offense. But, I mean, he hasn't really done anything, special. He made Super Bowl. But he hasn't, I don't know. I don't know if you put him on a bad team. You put him on the Jags, I think T-Law's better than him.
Okay, that is a hot take. I mean, I feel like you put any quarterback on a bad team, it's tough for him to succeed. But,
I mean,
I definitely think he does. I mean, any quarterback will benefit from a Shanahan system. I mean, you saw Matt Ryan won the MVP in 2016.
Yeah.
And even, they had Jimmy Garoppolo. Taking pretty far one time.
Yeah. I mean,
he played in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, those 49ers, man, could be dangerous.
Or
not.
I'm interested to see how they handle what's upcoming. Definitely. I mean, they still have paying Brandon Ayuk for what? I mean, he's proven that he's a solid player.
Yeah. Bengals, I wanted to talk about this. Bengals franchise tagged for the second time T. Higgins.
Oh, man, that
sucks. That is bad. I mean,
you got to keep your guys. I mean, Joe Burrow, he's established a connection. T. Higgins has proven to be an elite jump ball receiver.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I definitely think they want to keep him. I mean, if you go back and look at their schedule, they had probably one of the best, definitely up there in the best offense. And I think their defense, they definitely this draft want to focus in on defense because there was a lot of games, a lot of really competitive games where they lost by one score.
Yeah. I could see them getting
teams.
A Malachi Starks.
Malachi Starks, I honestly feel
Georgia
as a Georgia fan, he wasn't as impressive as he should have been, but he's definitely up there with.
Yeah. Myles Garrett only got $40 million? Really?
No, $40 million a year.
$40 million a year?
Yeah.
Oh.
So that actually puts him at the highest paid non-quarterback.
Did he get more than? Was it him and then they re-signed Max Crosby?
Max Crosby was $35.3 million, which barely topped Justin Jefferson's $35.
Damn. That's a lot of money. I could use that $40 million per year. All right. Well, thanks for watching. I'm Owen Mattingly.
Christopher Kuzniak.
Thank you. It's great, Thomas.